43. 43 is a good thing to embrace. And now that I have Alexa, it's not even a thought. Walk into the kitchen, Alexa, how cold is it? It's 43 degrees. It's like the best thing ever. Harper likes to have Alexa sing happy birthday to her every day. In my opinion, it takes away from the beautiful thing about being your birthday, because every day is now Harper's birthday. But I'm getting a lot of suggestions from you guys of things to ask Alexa, which is the Amazon talking thing. And someone had the brilliant suggestion of asking Alexa to fart, and apparently she will over and over again. But if my kid finds that out, that's the end of it. That will literally be my demise, will be her asking Alexa to pass gas for like an incessant period of time. Anyway, I'm gonna admit something to you that I know that you guys all go through, but I'm positive nobody wants to admit it. And Steph and I argue about it all the time. It's probably the crux of most of our fighting. I have this like FOMO. Do you know what FOMO is? This fear of missing out. To a degree. I don't have it terribly, but I have a little bit of it. Here's what I mean. I don't, once the babies wake me up in the middle of the night, I'm up. Quinn woke up at 3, cried a little bit, went back to sleep. Little did she know, she left her mother like wide awake. So from 3 o'clock on, I'm awake. So I go through my standard set of email checking and I go through there are 6 things I do on the phone before I go back to sleep. And I know that looking at the phone is the last thing you should do when you're trying to go back to sleep. But first I go to the New York Post and see if I missed anything big. Then I go to the Daily Mail and I go through all that. Then I do WhatsApp, text, email. Then I go through Instagram, and finally I round it out with Facebook and Twitter, obviously. So I was going through Facebook at 3 a.m. and guess what? I'm like, this one went skiing. This one's in Florida. Oh my God, this one signed up for camp and is excited for camp. This one is playing an instrument. This one is doing this. If I tell you, you can't, to have an anxiety, I was horizontal, having an anxiety attack without being able to make any noise. It was like explosions, like introverted explosions. You know when you're like losing your shit, but all on the inside and you can't let anything be seen? That's what was happening. So I got myself into such a tizzy that by the time Steph was on the air this morning, so her alarm went off at 5. When her alarm went off at 5, she was like, ugh. And I was like, let me tell you, we need to get Harper into camp. We need to get her down to a warm area and get her swimming in the ocean and in the sand.
Wait, what medical school is Harper going to go to?
I haven't even gotten to medical school yet.
Oh, you didn't get
so
to
not even get me started on medical
I want to make sure. It better damn well be an Ivy League med school.
I was so stressed out, Lance. I was like, well, I said that. Like, well, she's never going to get into a good college if she has no idea what to do over the summer.
She just better go to a good Ivy League medical school.
Okay, see, now you're joking and I'm mean.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I don't want any incompetent doctor taking care of people. I don't want
about it.
You know.
I was so stressed, so stressed out. Do you get this way? Like, don't put pictures of your kid at 3 years old skiing when my kid barely has even seen snow. And I don't want to see your kid.
I actually posted a picture of Booba and her 18-year-old boyfriend today. Okay.
Okay. All right. Booba's 5, by the way. I was really in a bad place, and I had to go visit my friend Josh, not the Josh that's going to come visit us, a different Josh. And I had to go all the way down to the Lower East Side, and let me tell you, I got up, I showered at 4, and Steph was gone, so I had to get the kids ready and got them all set and whatever, and went out and I was griping to myself as I'm walking to the subway, and I gotta do this and I gotta do that, and I'm stressed, and I gotta get the kid. Irrational. I'm telling you, I'm admitting, completely irrational. But if I tell you I was all worked up, I go online and I missed the camp deadline. I missed it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what happens now?
No. I don't want to hear that my kid's going to fail out of life. Because let me tell you what.
Forget about that. You're going to like parent job.
No. I flexed the muscle that is Jenna. Like, here's the deal.
You put on your big boy pants?
I put on my big boy pants. But I fail at a lot of things, right? But I will never let myself.
What have you ever failed at?
I mean, you get fired every once in a while. Like, I got fired from my first job in Binghamton. I don't always do things great. What else did I do that was
You
not
seem
great?
to be a complete overachiever. I mean...
Well, maybe because I am an overachiever, the things that I don't overachieve at, I consider failing. That being said, I'll tell you this. Like, you could like beat me up and push me down and you can like knock me, you can do all the things you want to do. But an inch before I hit the ground, and not before, an inch before I hit the ground, I'll finally say, all right, enough is enough. Let's fight back. And that's it. Like, I'll never let you beat me to a pulp. Do you know what I'm saying? But I love that about me.
I have no desire to beat you to a pulp.
Thank you. But I have resolve. My point is I will never completely, I'm not a loser. Like, I'm a winner, right? So even if 9 times out of 10 I lose, like that last 10th, I will somehow find a way to win. So now, like, now mind you, I'm talking big generalities, and yet this is just my kids didn't get into camp. # first world problems. Missed the deadline. Didn't think my kid was gonna get into like a good camp. Didn't think she'd get into a good forest program. Definitely didn't think she'd get into good kindergarten. Would never get into a good school. Was never gonna get into a good high school. Forget applying to college. And there's no way she was gonna
Wait, what kindergarten did you go to?
Did I go to? I didn't even really go. I went to some like schlot kindergarten in like.
And you somehow managed to end up on like.
But that's me. What if it's not her? Like, what if she needs the help? Like, I didn't need the help. I was
Maybe
gonna
she needs to
succeed
be.
no matter
Maybe
what.
she needs to be in a bad school for a few years.
So
she could appreciate being in a good school later on.
Well,
Maybe you learn
anyway,
more.
that's how it worked for me. My brother needed a good school. I just needed. I think I had it in me. Like, no matter where I was or who I was always going to end up doing what I'm doing. Let me splash ahead. I end up calling the camp, and I said, I'm going to have to turn it on. Like, red lights on. Like, you're going to watch Jenna work. Like, and I haven't had to work that hard in a long time. If I tell you how
You're
hard
here 4
I
hours
worked,
a day.
I don't even think I worked as hard on that phone as I do here on the show. I turned it on. But how lucky am I? The woman in charge, like, her name? Her name was Jenna. I'm in. I threw out all my Jenna jokes, like, I begged, pleaded, like, I bore her another child, like, I did as much as I possibly could. And I was like, this is the only place I wanted, like, but I gave it all. I gave everything I had. And they were so nice, and so amazing, and so awesome that
How many days a week are we broadcasting from there in the summer?
Oh yeah, so we're doing 17 days. I actually did it without promising anything, just out of the goodness of my appreciation for being there. Now, is it going to put me back a small fortune? Yes. Are we going to have to make $1 zillion so I can send our kids to camp? Oui, monsieur.
Okay.
But she is in, and I am thrilled. The other one, of course, once again, has nothing. No classes, not signed up for anything. I'm sure won't even be able to walk. But so that was one small thing that I knocked off my to-do list, and I felt really good. Really, really good. Thrilled, in fact, that I got something done, as small as it was. So my advice to you is take everything that's on your to-do list, big or small, doesn't matter, and start knocking them off one by one. Such a relief comes when you do that, because what we tend to do is get so overwhelmed by the enormity of everything on the list that we don't actually take care of anything on the list. So we sit and we gripe about it, and woe is me, I have so much to do, and we don't do anything, and we actually waste time. So go ahead and check your list. Like, I always have a list, and I will read. I don't even know what's on this list because this is ongoing. It's probably like have a baby. It's probably like something on my list to do. Like, what's on the list?
That's on the to-do list or have done list?
No, I don't write down have done.
But
in the past,
just have the
it's in the
baby. You're looking to have another baby. I'm just.
No, I was joking. I was like, my list is so old. It's have
Oh,
a baby.
okay. So you don't update. You don't cross things off the list.
Yeah. My point is, my list is so. Yeah, it was a joke. I do cross things off.
Okay.
That's why right now
I wanted
have
to make
this
sure.
one. My list is basically just get couch, but we are getting the couch. Larry.
Control the controllables.
Control the controllables. Exactly what it is.
Don't think about the uncontrollables. Just focus on the controllables.
Correct.
At
Because
3 o'clock in the morning, you're thinking about the
everything.
uncontrollables.
I'm thinking about everything. I'm thinking about the weather.
The out of controls.
I'm literally thinking about everything. I mean, there's got to be something. I wish there was some sort of like, and maybe it's my decision to start with. I'm on a yoga kick now. I told you that.
Right. Yeah. How'd it go?
Big time yoga kick.
Was
Haven't
it good?
started.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were on yesterday afternoon. You were just working out, you and Stephanie. Thursday.
Yeah. Thursday night is our
You're
first big
supposed to.
yoga class, and then it's going to be like religiously. But maybe I need to, and I was talking to Steph. Maybe I need to dip into a little bit of Zen. I think that might be my goal for this year. I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I I think it's just something you like to say, but I do believe in trying to change a little bit of yourself.
The only book that I've read that it has had as much effect on me as, or maybe even more effect with all due respect, than Thinner and 30 is Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind by Shinorio Suzuki.
What are your 3 quick takeaways from that book? And then I'll give you my 3.
And I'll give you 1. We'll start off here.
See, this is what conversation is. He's bargaining. Well, the guy.
I'm going to start off here, and you'll find the whole world in this one thing.
Okay.
Okay. In the mind of an expert, the possibilities are few. In the mind of a beginner, the possibilities are endless. So the expert has every reason why something shouldn't be done. All the experts that talk about like our show, they have all these reasons why it can't work. But when you have the mind of the beginner doesn't know. The beginner just looks at it and he says, oh, the camera quality here is great. We can do this. Everybody loves Jenna. This is going to be amazing. That's the mind of a beginner. The mind of the expert is the possibilities are few. So that's basically the starting point. He had another thing in there. He wrote 3 words in 1960 something. Just do it.
Didn't Larry Knight also find?
Yeah, after reading his book, somebody who did the advertising campaign after reading the book did that. And then his third thing was, a frog doesn't think he's doing anything special when he sits in the zazen position, and you shouldn't either. You're just sitting in a position. You're just exercising. You're just be a frog. Like when you sit in that position, you're not doing anything. A frog doesn't think that the frog is doing anything extremely special when it sits in that position. And a frog, if you ever seen a frog, actually there was one time I used to have frogs in my backyard, and one of the frogs actually was in my car, and I was in New York City, and it was on my dashboard. And it didn't move the entire time till I got back to Long Island and I got it out of my car. It literally did not move. And the frogs, they can just sit and sit and sit for hours on end, and they sit patiently because their minds are not confused with all of this uncontrollable nonsense that they're thinking about, and they don't have the ability to test. So just sit like a frog, think like a beginner.
I'll say 2 out of 3.
Which one didn't you like?
I didn't like the third one because I don't think you explained it the way I needed to hear.
So when you're what he's doing is.
Chris, this one, think about this. Okay, so go on.
I'm having a hard time.
I understood the first part of how you explained it, but then you lost me.
So what he's basically doing is you sit in a lotus position.
I understand.
So when you're sitting in that lotus position, if you're impressed with what you're doing and you're impressed with yourself, then you're building up your ego. And
but why does it have to be in the lotus position? You should say if you get, if you're doing anything where you're too.
Well, actually, what you want to take out of this is after sitting in this position, everything should be a Zen experience for you. So anything you do is not a big deal. Anything you do in life doesn't have any pressures or anything. It's just who you are. Like a frog, when a frog jumps, like think about an animal, like who does these amazing things.
But those skills are within the frog's DNA. But a frog is not going to
anything that you do.
Long division.
Anything that you do is within your DNA. Also, you have the ability to go off and do math. You have the ability to go and
Correct.
do anything. So by accomplishing that, it's not like you're doing anything special. So you shouldn't build it up into this massive thing, and you should just do it. Like, you can do all of these things. You find your limit, you do it, but you don't go and say like, oh, I'm accomplishing this great thing. You don't sit there and beat your chest and say, oh, I've done something. Because once you start building these expectations up and you start hitting these goals and things like that, and he comes from a world where everything is equal, essentially.
Right.
So when you put your left leg on top of your right foot and your right foot on top of your left foot, there's no right and no left.
Okay.
So it's not dualistic. It's a very difficult concept for our society because our thing is right, wrong, black, white. There's no gray, and his whole thing is that it's about this lack of dualism. So when you accomplish something, or when you're sitting, you just want to sit like a frog. When you're doing the show, you're relaxed. a lot of people they would be sitting in your position for 4 hours. They would be having anxiety attacks for years. Like, oh, what am I going to be doing? What am I going to be saying? You know, but you sit there and you sit on this chair like you're a frog. You do.
I will take that.
That's essentially the.
All right, I understand.
It takes me a long time to get to some points. You might not have noticed that.
Oh, I noticed it. All right. I noticed it.
Sorry.
Don't ever apologize. Don't ever apologize.
I didn't say that many times.
That's what I like. Like, I just like to know that we're all working on something and improving.
Right. So I'm trying to say like a frog and not think it's any big deal, but it's actually hard not to say.
You know, we talked yesterday about when I figured out what the golden years was, you know, how your parents are old enough to enjoy your children and your children are old enough to enjoy your parents. And I went home yesterday, and right before my grandmother died, and I knew she was getting old, and it was like probably 6 months before she ended up passing. This is the grandmother died while I was stuck in Phuket in Thailand, and Matt walked naked.
I remember that. Yeah.
Maddie walked naked behind me. You remember that? Good times. Anyway, right before
for those people who don't know anybody who's just tuning into the show for the first time.
Story. Long story short, I was in Beijing for the Olympics, and afterwards one of my best friends, Matt, came to meet me in Beijing, and then we went to Malaysia, we did Thailand, we did Hong Kong for a little bit. Anyway, we were in Phuket, and my grandmother, who was sick, I don't know if she was sick, but she passed. So I tried to get on a flight to come home, and there was suddenly a coup in Thailand, and they shut down the airports, like the first time in the world. We tried for like 3 or 4 straight days. We were never going to make it. So I decided she was the most important person in the world. I named Harper after her. Her name was Estelle. Harper's name is Harper Estelle. I was going to Skype the speech. I was going to Skype the funeral speech, if you will. And I wrote a beautiful thing for my grandmother, and I wrote her name down in the sand in Thailand at sunset, when the tide was out. I wrote her name down, and I stood there, and I had Matt take a picture, and we faxed it in. I wanted to put it with her in the casket, and I was very, very close to her. Anyway, I get up, and you know, there's a 24-hour, 12-hour difference, or whatever it was. It was morning for us. It was a little more afternoon for them. And I start talking, and I must have forgotten to remind Matt, as I did the night before, that I was doing this. And we weren't dating. He was just, you know, you're just friends.
You're just your normal nude guy walking around the house.
Well, we were.
I mean, you're General Wolf. You're a frog with a nude guy.
Listen, if I have no interest in your machinery, there should be no reason why you can't display your machinery.
My machinery is displayed all over town. Okay.
I'm giving the speech, in the middle of the speech. For whatever reason, Matt forgets. Matt gets up, and Matt walks behind me as I'm really in the crux of why my grandmother meant so much to me. Matt was wearing not much, and it went over really well. So it was one of those Seinfeldian moments. When I knew my grandmother was dying, getting back to a couple of years ago, before I went on this
She
trip.
told you it was her wish to
It was her wish to see Matt. I made her tell me all these stories about when she was younger, stories that she probably hadn't told in forever because no one had any interest in them anymore. What was she like as a kid? What was my mom like? What did she think about my mom moving to Jamaica? Just every day I got on the phone and I had her tell me stories. And I learned so much about me and my mom and her mom, and I learned just about everything that I didn't know anything about because my mom had not passed along, and some of the things she didn't know. So now I'm trying to get the same thing from my mom, and I encourage people to do the same thing. You know, take full advantage of your family and the people that are around you, and learn from them, and pass along the stories that mean something to you to the people that will appreciate them. So I spent a good portion of yesterday talking to my mom, and granted, you know, my mom. Is my mom watching? I don't know if she is.
I don't know if your mom's watching, but somebody's asking if you only speak English.
If I only speak English?
Yeah.
No, I speak other languages.
What other language?
I speak French, I speak Creole. I can have a conversation in Spanish, and I read and write Hebrew, but I don't really speak it. But I can read it.
Fred Proud is just saying that he just wrote a family book for his relatives.
Awesome. I love that, dude. That's awesome.
I do not see your mom yet.
Okay, so anyway, my mom has a tendency to to go back to what's comfortable for her. What's comfortable for my mom, obviously, is telling me, you know, what she purchased at ShopRite. Oh, I stopped at ShopRite. You know, they have they're selling whatever it is, and I got this, and I picked this up for your father. He's really liking when I make such and such. Now, the old me would have been like, ah, but the new me lets her tell me, and I want to hear it, you know, because there'll come a day where my mom isn't calling me anymore to tell me what she picked up at ShopRite, and I want to make sure that I fully appreciate it. And you should appreciate it. Appreciate your mom's shopping list at ShopRite. It doesn't mean she's going anywhere. It's just that why should we all have to grab onto something that we're losing? Why can't we all grab onto something while we actually have it? You know, and it takes losing something for us to sometimes realize what we're going to be missing.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
It does. Today, by the way, my friend, one of my best friends, not that Josh Glatt, a different Josh Weiner, my former Today Show producer, is going to come hang out with us, and he's got some fun things in tow. We got some, I don't know what we've got planned. But
What time is he coming? 11:30?
I told him 11:30.
Okay.
So let's read. You want to read some comments?
Yeah, so
Since it's like 11.
2 minutes away, so yeah.
I think it's 11:30. Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Here we go.
All right.
Let's start off on Instagram.
Okay.
So we got Rach Help 61 says hi from North Carolina.
Hey,
Lisa
Rach.
Angelo says hi Jenna.
Hi.
Miss
Saigon.
Herland, Mrs. Herland, to you, love your live videos.
Thank you.
Morocco Parade, something Parade, that was the longest name. Hello from Morocco.
Oh, hi.
Keno Gutton says hi. Miss Herland for you, Mrs. Herland for you says I got my Fitbit you recommended.
Yeah.
Love
good
it.
for you. Awesome.
R Burns 49 says how do you get any work done doing these all the time? LOL, just kidding, it's really neat. Here's how do you get any work done doing these all the time?
I know. No shit.
LOL, just kidding, it's really
No,
neat.
you don't even know. No kidding. I don't. I actually get no work done. That's why my kid was not in camp.
Mrs. Herland to you says this is her work. And she says I had heard bad things about Alexa.
No, you heard one story that there was a murder and they went back and asked Amazon if they could find Alexa's history to find out who did it, and Amazon saying their privacy issues. I think that's what you heard.
Right. Somebody's remarking that we stay in the echo chamber here.
Listen, we're waiting on the carpet. Once the carpet comes, the echo goes. Believe me, I want the echo to be gone more than you do. Trust me. We also might need to crack a window. I don't know what kind of eggs you made this morning, but they are like potent, big, strong, protein-packed eggs.
I'll go open the window.
Maybe.
There. Okay. Yeah, this window is generous.
Oh yeah. We did chopsticks to close. We're gonna need.
Getting hammered open.
Okay.
Arbirds 49 says, Mrs. Herland to you, that's her work to do this all day? Question mark. That's pretty cool. I can handle that.
Thank you.
See. There was a question if you know Russian.
Да. Я не знаю, что ты делаешь, как дела, здравствуйте, спасибо, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like I can say a few things. I took 2 years of Russian.
Fred Prout says we should spread pillows around. It will help for the echo.
We don't have any.
I have a lot of pillows actually.
Oh, well let's.
I'll got some pillows and blanket over there. Okay.
Any other suggestions for the echo besides
I
the
have a
carpet and
blanket
the couch?
also. Let me try that.
But where are you supposed to put the blanket?
Oh, I don't know, but maybe just anywhere, right? Like
Okay.
even on the floor, like on that side. Your mom just walked in.
Mom, I was just talking about Grandma. I was just talking about Estelle and about you and about how much I love you and appreciate you and how before Grandma died, I had her tell me all these stories about when you guys were younger, and now I want to make sure that I don't wait until it's too late. I want us to talk every day, even if it means you telling me what you bought on your way home from work today at ShopRite. So, I know you're laughing right now. I appreciate the ShopRite shopping list, just in case you know. So, but like I FaceTime with my parents, the girls FaceTime with them. I want them to see every day. I never want my parents to say, oh, look, the kids look how much they've grown. I don't want them to notice that they've grown too much, right? Because I want them there every single day as opposed to months or weeks or whatever it is. And that's important to me. And I want you to know, Mom, that that's important to me.
Alicia and I were just going over that because she was saying that Booba was crying for me last night on vacation, and I was just like, but she probably shouldn't speak to me today, so that.
Right.
Like, like I haven't spoken to her this whole week, and
Yeah.
like, she has one crying episode, but I think it's best, like,
Yeah, I
out of
agree.
sight, out of mind. Mrs. Herland G wants to know, do you ever respond to comments on your Instagram?
I'm responding right now, Mrs. Herlander. Ask me anything.
Yeah, I think she means maybe on your.
Oh, I do. I post a picture and then I read every single comment, always.
And she wants to know, when is the live workout coming?
So we're planning it. We have to pick the right gym and the right workout and then do it.
Britain Ireve 22. Oh. DJM Cam says, got my autograph photo on Christmas Eve. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
That's good.
Awesome.
Britain Ireve 22 says, love this.
Oh, cool. By the way, remember I was supposed to have date night with Stephanie last night? I raced out of here. I raced to the movie theater, like speed walking, like if Carl Lewis did what he did but walking, that was me. I got there just in time. I'm calling Steph, hello, no answer, hello, no answer, hello, no answer, text me, hello, no answer, hello. Then I finally get a call at 3:30, 5 minutes before the movie started and said, got called back in. I'm now doing a piece for Nightly and a piece for tomorrow on Carrie Fisher. I'm going to miss the movie. So we lost the tickets. So I was
So
like,
you were there by yourself?
no, I can't go to a movie by myself, ever. Not now,
Do you
not
know
then.
actually what happens when you get divorced?
You go by yourself.
You figure out how to do movies by yourself. That was
That
actually,
wasn't me.
I remember going the first time by myself and I was just like, this is the saddest thing.
Saddest thing.
And then I was just like, actually, it's kind of relaxing.
No.
Get some popcorn.
It's sad and pathetic to me. Anyway, I did the only other thing that you can do by yourself, which is I got a beautiful mani-pedi. For my yoga that I'm starting.
I did some drawing last night.
Oh, good.
I've been trying to figure out something. So yeah.
Okay.
You can do that by yourself.
Trust me, there's no lack of things I know how to do by myself.
Okay.
Want to do them by
Okay.
myself.
Okay.
Go on,
But
please.
you
Just
don't
keep
want to
reading.
do them.
Go on.
You're unexpected on that. Enjoy the chaos says, I love those paintings. At once, and enjoy the chaos says, have to try a to-do list. Have to try a to-do, I guess.
Try a to-do list. And Alexa will know your to-do list. So you'll say, Alexa, what's on my to-do list? And she'll say, next on your to-do list is such and such.
Fred Proud says, my life must be sad and pathetic. I have no one to go to the movies with. Fred, don't listen to her. Going to the movies is awesome by yourself. Just go, relax, have fun, get some popcorn, watch a
See,
good
for
movie.
me, it's not that. For me, it's an experience, and I don't want to.
You can go to experience. Yeah, you want to share it, but it can still be like.
Of course.
It can still be great.
Yeah. Okay.
Be Here Now says, if you're thinking about the weather at 3 a.m., you're not following your mantra. With a smiley face.
Very true. Very true. That's why it's hard for me to know the night, and it's something I'm working on. Work in progress, right here.
RSRV 215 says, hi Jenna.
Hi, RS260.
Wise NU says, I see all of your live casts and still don't know what's going on.
I started a show. It's a 4-hour daily show. It's the Jenna Wolf Show. It's 11 to 3 every day. And it's the thousands and thousands and thousands of live streaming highways that are going on in my head. We are doing everything. It's a talk show, we're interviewing, we're going to be working out, we're going to take walks, we're going to do just about everything. It's an interactive show. I talk to you, I listen to you, I answer your questions, I'm honest. I'm more honest, I can tell you right now, I will be more honest about everything and anything, more than anyone else that will ever have done or will do a talk show like this. We are having a good time. We just moved in, there is an echo, fully understand it. Let me beat you to the punch. Getting our chair and our carpet, and once that's settled, there won't be an echo. And that's it. Hope you can join us. We're live simulcasted across Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, YouTube, YouNow, you name it, and we're probably there. And yes, do I regret leaving the Today Show? No, but I did come from the Today Show, loved every second of it, and now I'm trying something new. Hopefully I answered all of your questions.
Guava says, hey Jenna, you're amazing.
Thank you very much, Wawa.
Barb 1962 says, I think now that you're in developments for a show, maybe?
There it is.
DJ M. Cam says you just activated my echo when you mentioned Alexa. Happens with commercials on TV too.
That's really funny. Let me do it again. Alexa, sing Happy Birthday.
Fart. Woody Mentor says, thanks for sharing part of your life.
You're welcome.
Gives you the blessing, emoji, and heart. Brian Yarger says, you need to know these things for your kids also. Brian Yarger says, good on you, Jenna, for doing this.
Thank you.
Nancy Quinn says, you're amazing, Jenna.
Thank you, Nancy.
By
the way, I named my kid after you.
Oh. The Adaki5 says, hi from Long Island.
Hi.
JJM Cam says, oh my God, she's doing it.
Doing what?
I think she's farting.
Alexa, it's not.
Right.
Go on. No, probably singing Happy Birthday.
DJM Cam, what's going on? The Patty Ogstad says, hi from Wisconsin, you are my workout idol.
Thank you.
Barb1962 says, Rhode Island's listening. Jet Thrift says, do you travel for meet and greet? Come to Alabama.
All right.
S. Johnson 207 says, hey, what's the best protein powder for kids?
I don't know why you would want to give kids protein powder. I personally wouldn't be a fan of it. I'd rather them get protein through food rather than through powder. Meat, if they eat meat or beans or things like that. But you want maybe talk to a nutritionist. I'm not saying my answer is the right answer. That's just my opinion.
The Adaki5 says, 2-mom family here too. Thanks for being a great role model.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't always feel like I am, so it's nice to hear that. So thanks.
Jeff Bastianelli says, good advice.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, the Idaki5 says, shout out to the 2-mom families.
Yeah.
Nancy Quinn says, thanks for this.
Okay.
Susan Sullins Hall says, you know what's really pathetic?
What?
Going to the movies by yourself so you are not judged by how much popcorn you eat with a smiley face.
Oh, yeah. That's the other thing
All right,
that's really hard.
That's
Is
one of those emoji, the frozen,
Yes.
frozen teeth. Kristen Jerry Lee Winchester says, hi from Kentucky, thanks for the comes out. Jay Kuhn says, hey. Patty Sanderson Cattell says, good morning from snowy Canada. I sent you a workout. Please let me know if you do it. I have it. I'm sending it.
Oh, good. I'd love to see it.
Brian Williams says, good morning to you, Jenna.
Good morning, Brian. What does Brian's picture look like?
Very small for a blind guy. I don't think it's Brian. It's not Brian Williams from NBC. Is that your thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that Big Apple Josh? Is he?
Nope. He'll be here. I'm sure he went to Riverside Drive.
We both said it in the
I know.
email. Swatch What Happened says, Chick-fil-A In-N-Out on a cheat day? Or In-N-Out on a cheat day?
I would do In-N-Out.
Fred Proud wants to know, is it sad that I watched Jenna by myself?
Oh, Fred. No, this is encouraged. You want to watch me by yourself. It's the movies that are a little bit different.
That was a good one. Pellis 423 says, you're such an inspiration. Love you.
Thank you.
MayQuest 33 says, do you incorporate exercise for your girls on a daily basis?
No, not to the point where I say now it's time to exercise. But I will have them sit down and then jump up and then sit down. I'll have them play frog. I'll have them play, crawl underneath me while I'm doing planks. I'll have them run around the house as much as possible. I don't need them to know, well, it is time to exercise, so now we must move. I want that to be part of their everyday life.
Randy Boat Wright says, off subject, do you believe that rich stock traders rig stocks to get paid out on stock options since you live in New York?
Wait, what? You answer for me, because obviously I'm not.
She doesn't think that. She hasn't remotely gotten near thinking about that.
I will tell you that I probably never thought about it.
She could be walking through the stock exchange and would not
And
would not be thinking about that. She could be on the Chicago Options Exchange.
I don't even know what that is, and I'm not thinking about it.
All the spray says, "Good morning, sunshine."
Good morning.
Drossfit says, "Oh, this one you might do better with."
Drossfit is my boy Dory.
Right. Wants to know how many burpees have you done today, Jenna?
Today alone, 127.
And how many have you thought about?
Have I ever thought about 394?
And what are your thoughts about how?
Dory, I miss you. I'm coming to see you Friday morning, I think.
Nancy Quinn wants to know, what coffee are you drinking?
I'm drinking an almond milk. No, this is just coffee with almond milk in it. I'm trying to get off the almond milk lattes because the lattes are a lot of calories, but I already got off the sugar, so there's no sugar, so I needed to put more milk. So now that I've gotten off the sugar and I'm used to it, I'm taking the milk away and I'm doing more coffee. I know way more information than you ever needed to know about what I'm drinking. Let's put it this way. It's from the Java family.
Oh, we know that you're not going to go see a movie. What movie?
I want to go see Sing.
What?
I want to see the movie Sing.
What's that about?
My back. This is bothering me. It looks like it's a face looking at me. I don't want it to look at me. I don't know. Weird.
What about this one?
But I think he needs more over there. I'm gonna go
I think this one's looking right
I
at
don't
you.
like the face. It looks like it's staring at me. Sorry. Look at it. It's like this.
I did. I actually picked them out.
I wanted to see Sing. She got me tickets for La La Land, which I had no interest in seeing. So part of me was kind of okay with the fact that we did go see that movie.
Vigidisco Parte says you should work on the acoustic.
I know. Thank you so much for that advice. We are working on it. We're going to get a carpet and a couch next week. Nothing's being delivered.
Imagine how much viewership is going to pick up when we have.
Tell all your friends.
Tell all your
This is
friends
going to be
when the
a
carpet
fabulous
comes
show.
in. Boom.
It's going to be crazy. Did my mom write anything after I did the whole ShopRite list?
Let me go through here.
Did you finish Instagram?
I've been going back. There's Instagram.
Okay.
Everything's
Gotcha.
trying to read a lot. Fred, thank you for sharing this on Twitter. Bar Best Right says, "Hi from Iowa. Love your shirt. Hoping your show skyrockets in 2017. Love it."
Thank you, Barb. Appreciate the kind words about my show. From your lips to God's ears, and this is Stephanie's.
Amen to that. Oh, that's a nice one, sure.
Thank you. But as you can see, Stephanie's not watching because she doesn't know.
She watched yesterday.
She did watch yesterday.
Today she's on the whole.
Today she's wrapped up in a million things because there aren't any correspondence. Well, wouldn't you know it, Carrie Fisher relapsed and had drugs, did drugs again over Thanksgiving. That's what they found out. She had drugs. George Michael had relapsed, and he also had drugs in his system. Prince, drugs. Gary Shandling had oxycodone in his system. I can't begin to tell you what a walking, talking, like after-school special, say no to drugs poster child I am. It's almost unattractive.
Right, but it's a hard thing because people become addicted to it, and they try.
Fully understand. Fully understand.
It's so sad. No matter how
big and famous,
how
much
big and
money
what
you
kind.
have, money cannot buy yourself out of death's door if that's the path you're going down.
Yeah.
So anyway, go on.
Kristen Jerry Lee Winchester says Sing is a really cute movie.
I want to say Steph won't see it with me.
Bar Best Right says, "Hi from Iowa. Love your shirt."
Thank you.
Nicole Krimp says, "Hey Jen, I need to turn over a new leaf and get healthy. I'm hoping to see new workouts and get inspiration from you."
Okay, well, do it slowly. I wrote a book about people that are getting back into it or starting slowly or just want a few tips that don't want to go nuts. Thinner and 30. It's all about that, I promise you. Take a look at it.
It's an amazing book.
Oh, thank you. You're sweet.
Randy Boatwright says, he's the one with the options trading.
Oh.
My wife wants to know, do you truly like seeing all your family during the holidays?
Do I truly like seeing them? I love seeing my family. I think they're, yeah. We don't have a huge family, and we lived abroad for most of my life. So it's really nice when we all sort of get together.
MayQuest33 says, I work for a diagnostic laboratory, and I see it on a daily basis. We make so much money from this epidemic. It is sad.
It's very sad, and I hate it. I hate it.
The heroin stuff is really bad, but that's getting all of this stuff. Anyway, Kia Sun says, how often do you return to Haiti?
Not often enough. The last time I was there, I'm sad to say, was after the earthquake. I went down. I'd like to go down again, but I have not had an opportunity. I'd like like to take Steph down.
Valerie B. DeWitt says, do you eat pasta?
Very, very occasionally. Not as much as I probably should.
This is a good question for you, Jenna.
Okay.
My tickle slave says, are you ticklish? Where?
My stomach. I'm not tickle under my arms. I'm ticklish in my feet and my belly. And I'm the obnoxious kind of recipient of tickling. Like, the minute you do it, I get mad and angry as I'm laughing. I'm like hysterical laughing, being like, I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm really going to hurt you. It's gonna be awful. Being all like hysterical. I'm the worst.
Reeking Kayla says, I love your hair.
My hair?
Your hair.
Thank you.
What'd you do to your hair today?
I just didn't put it in a ponytail. That's literally the only thing I did.
Patty Swag says, I lost 100 pounds. I walk 3 miles a day. Do I need to do more?
Are you kidding? You lost 100 pounds? You're doing it. So proud of you.
Grandy Boatwright is on the family story here. Wants to know, is it bad that I don't go to my in-laws for holidays because I want to enjoy the holidays?
It's very funny. Hey, you know what? To each his or her own. I do not pass judgment about or to or of anything.
Betcha Be Golly says, what's the best exercise to eliminate tummy flab?
Stop eating so much is the best exercise. It's all diet. Tummy flab is diet.
Kia San says, I also, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Says, also, I love your DJ school story.
Oh, remember that? That was a long time ago. I went to DJ school and learned how to be a DJ.
I don't
Let me
remember.
tell you how white I really am.
How
I
old
was
are
like, hello, how you doing?
you? You grew up in Haiti, right?
Basically.
When I went to Ghana, I never felt so white in my life. I was like, hey. Ellen Bull wants to know if do you miss working on the Today Show?
Yeah, sometimes. I miss
Especially when she spends time with me.
all the times on Lance. I miss working on the Today Show when I was on the Today Show. I wasn't on enough. You know, I wanted to do more work for them, and there was no room for me to do more. So I had to go find a place where I could do more.
All right, 1 second. So, Team Money says, what are you doing for work now?
This is what I'm doing every day, right now. Let's hope that it will. It's going to turn into something.
All right. What's your favorite workout exercise? Asks Sid Stewart 03.
I like doing the high intense interval training. I like where you give 100% for a short period of time and then rest, and then 100% and then rest. So you do intervals. That to me is where I feel like I accomplish the most.
Fred Proud says the show will be huge. Seriously.
Fred, I literally love you. Is it possible that I can fall in love with someone just seeing the back of a camera? If it is, then I've fallen in love with you. I love you, Fred.
Pellis 423 says what show? Question mark. Is that Big Apple?
No, that was a USA Today alert, which doesn't mean anything.
Let me see if he emailed.
Say it again.
I'm just gonna see if he emailed.
No. Tell me the comment again.
Oh no.
No?
I don't remember. Oh, let's go on. What was their question? Is what's the show?
That can't be the question. That's just a question you're throwing out there. Oh, Josh just wrote.
Josh, he's en route.
Yeah, that's fine.
Subway behaving like it's a holiday. Okay.
What'd you say?
He said the subway's behaving like it's a holiday.
Mm.
Big Apple Josh actually on Instagram asks if is the carpet going to match the drapes?
Of course, Big Apple Josh would ask that.
And
the drapes are gray, so I will tell you that the carpet will not match the drapes.
okay.
I mean, they will, but not in the way that all you crazies are thinking.
All right, we got
Josh is 1 block away.
okay. Kristen Lee Winchester says hi from Kentucky. Thanks for the motivation.
You're welcome.
Your mom says, I do love hearing from you and seeing the girls today.
Yes.
Shelley Knight Wilkie says hello from Michigan.
Hey, how are you, Shelley?
Moira Calicoda blows you a kiss. Susan Bayerheim says, will you have a schedule of when you are doing workouts and special interest segments?
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're
Listen, once I told Lance that besides besides Josh today, who's coming on the show, I feel like I want to hold off on having all our guests and big segments and everything, and until we get the rest of our set and the echo's gone and we're all good. So by the end of next week, I'm hoping everything is in place, and then we're bringing guests back on. We have sponsors. We're gonna go out and do athletic things. I'm gonna do live workouts.
Are we skating on Friday?
I really want to.
We're gonna go ice skating on Friday?
What do I have that's Friday?
Let's have a look at the weather and figure it out. Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be raining really badly,
Right.
so Friday might be a good time.
Okay. I'm sorry.
What?
Nah, I'm just gonna walk somewhere.
Josh wrote, you didn't tell me this place was basically in New Jersey.
Wow.
Go on.
I think I might have caught everybody.
We're caught up? And what happened? Where is this? What's missing on this guy?
This is you now. We need a different thing here. Robin R. Jacobs says, good morning, I like the new scenery.
Thank you, it's getting even better.
Karen Hansen says,
Hey Lance, what if you put this on that? That would look good.
Work,
Yeah, I think that would look good. I think those two go there.
Interior decorating with Jenna.
I know, right?
Here, you really want to do with Jenna?
What?
Take the rack, take that.
And put it behind me?
Put it on that.
But then it's only going to come up to my face, whereas this way at least you can see some
I
of
see what
it.
you're saying. Oh, it's right, yeah. Perfect.
Eventually you're gonna put it up.
Eventually we're going to sell it.
Right, but
Yeah,
eventually
another
we have
piece of
art
art.
coming that's gonna go behind, right?
Yeah.
And that should be here soon. If anything. All right, so Josh is gonna be here. So if there's no more comments, we want to take a break and we'll come
Take a
back.
break and we'll be back with Big Opportunity.
Big on Josh. See you in a bit.
We'll be back in 2 minutes.